We're back with our law and justice lead, and quote, "You're losing all credibility with the court," unquote. That's what Judge Juan Merchan told Trump attorney Todd Blanche earlier today in their hearing. It got heated at times. This question was over whether Donald Trump repeatedly violated the gag order in the hush money case. Blanche tried to explain why his client posted insults of the jury, insults of witnesses, despite being told not to, having a gag order instructing him not to, and the judge was not having it. Prosecutors argue that Trump violated the order 10 different times on Truth Social and campaign posts between April 10th and April 17th. They want Trump fined $1,000 for each alleged violation. Let's bring back our panel. Jeremy, let's start with that exchange that drew Judge Merchan's ire with Trump's legal team. It's about this particular exchange was about this Truth Social post from April 17th, where Trump appears to quote something that Fox host Jesse Waters said on his show about attempts to stack the jury with liberals and liberal activists lying to the judge in order to get on the jury. No evidence of that. Merchan went after Todd Blanche, the attorney, because Trump's post was not even a direct quote of what Waters had said. And Merchan asked, "Your client manipulated what was said and put it in quotes, am I right?" Todd Blanche replied, "I wouldn't use the word manipulation, Your Honor, but the rest of the quote was not part of the quote." Merchan's point is that Trump isn't merely reposting the views of other people, he's writing out original thoughts. How damaging was this all, do you think?
Yeah, I mean, first of all, as a defense attorney and a prosecutor, sometimes you have to think on your feet. So that's obviously what Blanche was trying to do in part. But it was really, it's a really right here. As a lawyer, you do not want to hear the judge say you lack credibility. That's devastating. And what really, when you look at this, and I'm looking down, he added words about liberal activists in order to get on the Trump jury. And that's simply not accurate. And it's really devastating, not to the Trump, well, it is devastating to the Trump inside the courtroom, but let's differentiate the two. You have the person who's innocent until proven guilty inside, and you have the person outside who is filled with all sorts of hot rhetoric that is so damaging to the criminal justice system. And at all he can do, no matter what, selfishly, he wants to dismantle the criminal justice system for his own gain. And it puts Judge Merchan in a very difficult situation, because no matter what he does, arguably Donald Trump wins and uses this to his advantage, because Donald Trump is not going into custody.
After the trial concluded for the day, Misty, Trump came out and railed against the gag order. Let's take a listen to part of that.
It's totally unconstitutional. I'm not allowed to talk, but people are allowed to talk about me. So they can talk about me, they can say whatever they want, they can lie, but I'm not allowed to say anything. I just have to sit back and look at why a conflicted judge has ordered me to have a gag order. I don't think anybody's ever said anything like this.
So, you know, I don't think you need to be told this, but plenty of defendants get put under gag order in criminal trials. And things he said there were not accurate. He's allowed to talk about the district attorney. He's allowed to talk about the judge. He's allowed to talk about the case. He's just not allowed to personally insult witnesses or jurors or members of the family of the district attorney or the judge or their staffs. Trump must know the facts here. Do you think his attorneys have just given up on trying to talk to him about this?
Oh my gosh, as a defense lawyer, you're definitely speaking to the client every single day. Please be careful. Public statements, anything you say out there can come back to bite you. But look, the judge was very specific in making a narrowly tailored gag order, and that was to toe the line, to say that, yeah, you can criticize the process, you can criticize me, you can criticize the DA, but what you can't do is go after jurors and witnesses. And that's really a tenet of the criminal justice system, that those individuals need to be protected. And that's in order for the whole process and the trial to be fair. So I think that his defense lawyers, they're probably giving him advice about what to say. They're probably telling him not to go too far. Will he listen? Well, that remains to be seen. And I think we've definitely seen him crossing the line with some of the comments that he's made. And I agree with Jeremy. You don't want the judge saying to you as a lawyer that you're losing credibility with the court. That's not a great thing to hear.
And Jeremy, obviously Michael Cohen is out there going after Trump too. And several of the alleged violations involve posts where Trump is going after Michael Cohen, either directly or indirectly. One of the posts was a comment Trump made about a different post from Michael Avenatti, which went after Michael Cohen and Stormy Daniels. And Trump referred to the witnesses as sleazebags. Trump also repeatedly shared headlines that referred to Cohen as a serial perjurer. And to be fair, Michael Cohen, did concede that he misrepresented the facts. He lied before Congress on Trump's behalf, we should note. And he served prison time in part because of that perjury. Do you see the posts going after Michael Cohen as violating the gag order? And do you think that gag order is fair?
I'll start in reverse here, and I think the gag order is fair, and it should be sort of not just for Trump, although it's not an issue for the prosecution, but it should be across the board. That case should be tried within the four corners of 100 Center Street, not in the street, but in that building, and that's what needs to be done. So, yes, I believe it's fair. And is it crossing the line? I believe it is. It is crossing the line because we know how Donald Trump uses this to manipulate people, and even if it's not his intention, it's definitely recklessly dangerous because it exposes people to the reaction to those who really consume what he says and then react to it in a very sometimes violent or aggressive or agitating way. It's just unhealthy for the jury, and especially the jury when he brings them in, but even for Michael Cohen. And Michael Cohen absolutely has problems as a witness. That's why David Pecker's there to sort of bolster him up. But it doesn't give Donald Trump the right to do what he is doing with that gag order. Fight it out in the courtroom. Let your attorneys do their job.
Misty, were you surprised Judge Merchan hasn't rendered an immediate decision on the gag order violations yet?
I wasn't surprised because he's got to go through each individual instance the prosecution is alleging and make a determination about whether or not that violates it, and also think about what's the penalty going to be to send the message but not go too far. So I think reserving decision was what I would have expected.
All right, Misty Marris, Jeremy Salan, thank you, both of you.